Wait, were you able to hear me? Hello, Marcus, it might be you. Now you can. What if I switch back to this headset? Here it goes. All right, that certainly is strange. It just continued reason why I need to restart my computer. I tend not to restart my computer for months. So there we go. Justin, hello, welcome in. You were in and out the other day. Hopefully you can stay today. Let's see here. Yes, very good. Thank you. Right on. All right. So, yeah, we just had some economic data released, and that included strong retail sales numbers, but it also included import-export prices, including for automobiles, and that can be a indicator of inflation. Were you having audio issues yesterday? Oh, really? Oh, that's strange. I wonder if they're related to the ones that we were having just now. Anyway, the economic numbers came out, and they were favorable on the retail sales front, better than expected. But the import-export prices may be what's driving the market down this morning off of the numbers that have been released since 8:30 for the last 30 minutes or so. And we are set to open below yesterday's close, just like the prior day, except that we're also opening today below yesterday's low. So we're completely clearing yesterday's candle. We'll probably retrace a little bit and then potentially be red again today because we're basically in a pullback. We're in a retracement region here. All right. So that's what I expect from the market today is maybe some, well, I don't know which will come first, whether we'll drop precipitously and then retrace and have a green day from off of the open and then to the right. Yeah, Justin, I'll talk about that in just 1 second. That's a very good point. Or will we move up from the open and then drop precipitously, throughout midday and then, semi reclaim? But effectively, we're doing something to follow the path of this dotted line that I've got here. And yeah, it's just chop. And this is what we've been predicting for weeks. This is what happens every election year in bull markets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the last 38 years. And what happens in January, just about damn near every time, 75% of the time in January, the first week we drop strong, which we did. The second week and third week and fourth week is all sideways from there. And it's just chop, chop, choppity, chop, chop till the end of January. And then at the end of January, the last day or two, we will experience a panic drop, a breaking of support lows, and it'll feel like the floor just fell out beneath you. And we'll have this panic drop that's actually going to turn out to be the low to catch a rally from all the way to mid-February. Mid-February is from the end of January to mid-February is one of the strongest and only of two rallies that we will have this entire year. If you don't catch the rally from the end of the month into the middle of February, you'll have to wait until October, November, basically November to December, post-election results for the next rally. And that rally also will be like 2 or 3 weeks from the November election date all the way to the middle of December. Everything in the middle, and actually March is going to be a really bad month. It's going to be just red, 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 drop, 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 red, red, red. And the rest of February after that rally from the end of January to the middle of February, the rest of February from the middle of February will be chopping at the high. It'll be like what you'd call topping. So we'll have chop for the rest of this month, a panic drop at the end of the month, which is a dip buy opportunity for a run up rally that's only one of two rallies this entire year to the middle of February, where we top out for the last few weeks of February, and then March we slide down for a month and a half to new lows on the year, and will be the strongest drop. Then we chop all summer, all, the rest of the year until November. And we'll have little micro rallies, but we'll also have little micro drops. It's just going to chop, 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 chop. So this is great to know because if you can there are certain strategies where you can make money off of sideways action, and those would be selling options, for example. You can't make money sideways any other way other than trying to trade reversals, which is a very bad idea. That's one way to get yourself sliced and diced. Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, you guys. Oh, I didn't let everybody know to come on in, but yeah, we're live. If you are, what do they say? If you're late, um, there's some saying out there, but what I got to do right now is go and let everybody know to come on in, because you got to give some people a reminder. You guys are the hardcore dedicated, you know, traders. We work together, and I value you and you value me. Now I'm going to make an alert, and we'll see, kind of like what kind of like other people we can get to come on in. Where the hell is it? Maybe I won't even alert it. That's their responsibility. All right, there we go. I found the link to copy and paste. They're lucky. They're lucky I take care of them. That's just part of our service here. So we may see a drop to about 394 before the retrace on the Qs. Let's take a look at that, Justin. Yeah, a really brilliant question. Just perfectly asked. I've always heard the expression, there's no such thing as stupid questions. Being a smart person, I have to disagree. Just, I think that's just something to protect the stupid. All right, so let's take a look at the Qs, and yeah, we would be talking about, well, I'm going to get a much easier to see view here. Yeah, we'd be talking about a drop below 395, like to get really pinpoint specific, not pinpoint, but to be a little bit more specific. 395 would be the panic drop break. No, actually, it's possible that during this week, we hit a new low down there. We hit like 394 this week. And then next week, we go up, and then we make one topping out move back to where we were. And we get this expanding wedge called a megaphone. And then that final week of the month, we drop even further than whatever low we make this week. It's possible we hit a low this week, a lower low in the scheme of things this week. And then before the end of the year, last day, we hit an even lower low, but that one's potentially going to be a little bit more worrisome to people. It'll be a little bit more panic stricken. And yet that is likely a dip buy opportunity. Timing that's going to be like catching a falling knife. And, really optimally, the best way to do that is through options. That way, you've got your forgiving break-even line that keeps moving in your favor every day. That way, you can muster being wrong a little off in your timing. Otherwise, you're catching a falling knife and you're putting a lot of risk on. You'd have to make your stop a bit wide with shares, and hey, that's fine if you want to trade it. There's not going to be a lot of rallies this year. So, and then by the way, to make money sideways after that point forward, and basically, let me get the exact period, like end of March, will chop until November, middle of November. It's basically, this year is going to be a giant cup, kind of a handle, really, on a cup and handle, a giant one from February to November, just a bowl, right? Mid-February, kind of end of February, March, we start dropping and we create this bowl that we finally kind of come out of a very shallow bowl bottom in November. And that whole chop region for the middle of the year, You could just sell iron condors. It's just the perfect strap for that kind of a situation. And that's probably the best way to make money for the middle of this year. But yeah, we'll have two rallies for longing, one in the end of the month, February, and one in the end of November. That's it. It's gonna be pretty anemic. Now, if that's a prediction, that's a forecast. If somehow we get something else happening this year, we're on the ball, you know. We go with what we see. But it's nice to have some kind of a prognosis so far, and we're only 2 or 2.5 weeks in or whatever. So far, it's knock on wood, unfolding exactly as forecasted. Exactly. So that means today you might be seeing some red. We're basically retracing, and that's the playbook today. All right, what do we got here as far as time? Wow, we got a wonderful 14 minutes until the market open. We have BFRG, SLDP, MMAT at the top of the movers this morning, and BFRG with a 25% increase, but it's only a 16 mil market cap. So BFRG, let me take a look at that and see if it's worth anything to us. The volume is 4 mil. It doesn't usually have good average volume. This morning's volume is insanely strong, and it is breaking over a prior pivot and becoming a bottom reversal, but it is not breaking out of the 200 moving average. There's some small day trading micro cap opportunity on BFRG, barely. I'm not even going to put it on radar. SLDP, not even a blip up enough to really talk about, and that is Solid Power is what it's called. What do they do? Solid Power creates batteries. Solid state battery cell technology that replaces liquid or gel polymer electrolyte used in conventional lithium ion battery cells with a sulfide base. No, that's enough. Also up this morning is MMAT, but only up 8. Well, it's a lot, 8.4% off of yesterday's super duper catalyst day. But today marks the first day it's actually breaking out of bottom reversing. It's creating bottom reversing sentiment breaking out this morning, but it is a micro cap also at 41 million market cap with a float of 310 million, average shares traded per day about $800,000. Okay, when you put it into dollars terms, it should give you an idea of whether or not there's really anything going on there. But anyway, today it is trading 82 million shares, which is equivalent of about $8 million. So it is trading about 10 times RVOL already, which means it's going to hit about 30 RVOL or 3,000% RVOL relative volume by the end of the day projected, and could be even more, could be even less, but you know, that's a pretty vanilla projection, 3x the pre-market volume. So the problem with that one though is it's the price point that it's hitting here is not phenomenal. What happened here? What is that weird sound? I mean, I see it says live was disconnected, couldn't connect, trying to reconnect now. Are you guys still there on TikTok? That was a really weird sound. Haven't had that before. Need more bandwidth. Need more bandwidth. Justin Seeger says, on a side note, Democrats are really pushing legalizing weed. I would expect a pretty big push on pot stocks as we get closer to the election. Yeah, you're probably right. But then, of course, you'd have to hedge it going into the election. They're already seeing some action. Yeah, CGC and give us a list of names, Justin, and I'm happy to see them. We still have 11 minutes here. I could easily blast through like 7 pot stocks charts if you want me to take a look. But in general, those pot stocks are really difficult to rely on. Very unreliable. I'm just double checking my notifications. Sorry if I'm sidetracked for a second. Nope, everything's okay. All right, good. All right, yeah, Tilray for sure. NTNX, a great high growth stock that is out there, by the way. Tilray, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing showing up on the chart right now for Tilray. No opportunity. TCNNF, that looks good. I wouldn't say it's outstanding, but it's above the 200. It's bottom reversed yesterday. It just looks like it's in a better spot. $6, $7. That one looks pretty good. TCNNF. Tilray does not look good. And you forgot CGC, but all right, I'll pull up CGC. TCNNF, again, I'll show that to TikTokers. Yeah, what's up with Hut, Rory? I'm in Hut. CGC, definitely not looking good. Definitely not looking especially as good as TCNNF. So far TCNNF is just like in a league of its own. ACR, and you'll see that, in the performance moving forward, it probably will do the best. ACR HF looks terrible. Yep, no good there. And then Curl F, pretty scraggly price action, but I put it in second place. It's above the 200, and it's got some bottom action going on. CGC again, what did I say about that one? Yeah, it looks terrible. So the best one is that one you said, TCNNF. It has the best contiguous price action. It's bottom reversing. It's coming up out of a bottom reversal pivot. It may break out of $8 soon and move to retest 14 or 15. And what'd you say? You're nervous, Hut 8? You think it's going up? Well, I mean, it'll go up when Bitcoin goes up. It's tied to crypto. So you just have to watch that. It's not going to move on its own. But it's going to oscillate at some point. It's going to oscillate. It's going to do some mean reverting move, not all the way back to mean perhaps, but it's going to oscillate. And from there, you could hedge or put on or take off risk. Both of those are ways to take off risk. So that's coming. I mean, it's going to at least oscillate a little. All right, we've got still 7 minutes until the market opens. If you had any more, Justin, let me know. What do you think, Justin? About what I said. Kim, good morning. And Bob, what's up? Makes sense, yeah. Well, I mean, based on the charts, sometimes charts can change in a minute, in a moment, in one day. So, you keep an eye on all of them. But, sometimes I think trying to reach for big thesis plays is for lack of ability to just find shit that's fully tradable and running and completely going to give you a return. I mean, we have 1,100 stocks in high growth, beautiful high growth setups right now. Like look at ELF as an example. But I mean, it is something, like you said, I mean, it is something, it's an election year type of trade. But look at ELF. Other than that slight correction, I mean, it is up extraordinarily. That's just one example out of about 1,100. Yeah. Yeah, it might not even be worth it, Justin. Because like I said, that one stock, it might go from $8 to 14. It might do so in what? 3, 4, 5 months time, right? Things could improve from there, but that should be your, sort of general expectation. So 14 divided by 8, that's 75% gains in 4 months. Let's say an average of 4 months, which is 30 months. There's 120 days. So that's to the power of 1 over 120. And so that is a return of, what have I done wrong here? 14, 1 plus 14 divided by 8. What do we got going on? Oh, I did 120. There we go. Well, that's actually not too bad. That's actually not too bad. That's pretty good. That'd be 2.3% per day on your money. That's pretty good. So the only problem is it going to happen? There's other stocks that, because it is pure speculation, and maybe it's going to happen, and maybe that's how some people make the big money. But there's 1,100 stocks that you can get 5 to 10 of them on at every time they trigger a signal that are more assuredly going to move, let's say, than the pot stocks. Because actually, as we just looked at them, and if you really took it as a whole, at least maybe the timing's not right yet. And maybe one of those is a leader, and maybe it's that one I mentioned, and now it's popping out. Maybe everything's going to start to follow suit laggingly, and then altogether, the change pole positions, and you have a stallion coming from the rear, coming all the way up to the front, and things can shift around. But as I see it now, on a whole, the prognosis doesn't look like anything other than that one stock. All right. So, it's just, anyway, goes towards like thesis trading versus chart trading. Obviously I am biased towards chart trading, but I also don't ignore thesis trading. It's just that, I think you can do a lot better trading with your eyes than you can with your ears. We always talk about that because, it's actually happening. You're trading something actually happening. Anyway, there you go. I mean, it's just information, things to think about. All right, let's watch the open here. Let's get back on the cues. Morning, everybody. Yes, good morning. Spartacus, good morning. And let's get the cues up over here. There's really no individual stock worthy this morning. All right, we are watching the cues and the market and the S&P 500. I'm using two hands at once. If I had three, I'd be using three hands at once right now. I've got my left hand on this laptop, and I've got my right hand going into the desktop. Yeah, Tesla is not doing too good right now. I'll take a look at that. But how much time do we have before they open? Yeah, 3 minutes. Yeah, I can take a look at that really quick. Tesla. By the way, if you haven't joined our group, come on in, click the link in my bio. So yesterday was a reclaim entry type of trigger, but we're actually opening below that entry, which is a little troublesome looking, and means we're not really following through on yesterday's entry signal on Tesla. So, Tesla's been very weak lately. It's falling apart. All right, let's watch this open. Like I said, we had a 3-day reversal over the last 3 days on the top of the market. And that, forecasts at least typically one down day today. And by the way, today could open low like it is and then go up all day. It's green all day and it went up all day. And yet that could still be considered a down day because the low is lower than yesterday's low and the high would be lower than yesterday's high. So that's a lower low and a lower high, continuing to move down. I think in order for us to get where we need to get, I think we need a strong red day today. Of course, I don't want that necessarily, knock on wood, but I think that's, in order for things to transpire as forecasted, we would need that. Although the market can work in mysterious ways, my friend. Today could be green, and then tomorrow a huge gap open down panic red day, and then, a final nail in the coffin on Friday. So that would get us there as well. So there's many ways to get us to our destination by Friday, which is the bottom of this chop zone, 395 area on the cues. And there's even, different ways it can just avoid doing that and still breaking a new low at the end of the month. you know, there's very little real to reliably risk your money on right now, other than sideways and chop. All right, market's opening in 30 seconds. Let's see what the market brings. I know you know. Yeah. All right, we got 20, we got 15 seconds here. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Here we go. And market opens now. All right out of the gate, we have like about an 80% red moves on growth stocks and only 20% green moves. That's right out of the gate. Let's see where we are in a minute. Okay, it's about 70-30 now. 70 red, 30 green. Okay, it's about 60 red, 40 green. So the situation is improving across all stocks, you know, and it looks like it's going to stay there, which kind of keeps us right at the edge of a cliff. So it's not, so far it's hasn't improved. Okay, it's maybe 55, 45, 45 green, 55% red. And we have finished the first minute right now. There we are. That's the first minute of trading has been complete. And actually, we're a little bit more than 50-50 green across growth stocks. The market itself, however, is making new lows. But we've got at the top of the list names that we're familiar with, like APLS. If I see something good, I'll bring it up on the TikTok screen. Otherwise, let's just keep an eye on the market. Look at that nice red candle. That's not mean red candle that's forming on the market right now. Gap open down and panic. Red, red, red. APLS is no signal. Moderna, top of the list, top of the open. Nah, that's no signal. SATS, that's the nice thing about, just watching the market and understanding signals on stocks is even stocks that you want to get in just might not be signaling when they shouldn't be. You shouldn't get into something when you shouldn't get into it. So it's kind of like self-fulfilling prophecy. This stuff gets pretty easy if you just pay attention to what you're supposed to pay attention to. You don't just get into something every day. Today might not be a day to get in anything. Mara also making some green move this morning, but it's really not enough. Let's take a quick look at HUT because somebody was asking about HUT. Yeah, HUT's hanging out at these lows. All right, going sideways. AMR, not looking like anything, any signal right now. Coins 3 days across a bottom right now, so it's leveling off, let's say. Bitcoin crypto space leveling off. While the markets bleed, the markets are putting in a very red morning. This is one of the two ways we talked about today could go. We could drop all morning and then retrace and move up all day and have a green day. GSAT, another green off of the opens. Okay, now we were only getting about a 60% red and 40% green situation on stocks moving off of their open. So it's a much more red day than green. And we actually do have new lows outnumbering new highs for the first time in, how long has that been? First time since November 14th. So 2 months. So it's officially, when that happens, it's officially an end to that run. But we do believe that we're going to pick up again in February. But for now, no bueno. I need to check on my Kava position. Let's take a look. Oh, it's doing just fine. Okay, that one's doing fine. Let's sort by PL today. The one to really look at is Carvana, apparently, which continues to move down in a measured manner. However, so does my break even. So we keep hanging on until 21 DTE, and then we make a decision at that point. Lulu, looks like something has been moving against us on Lulu. That could be up or down. Let's see. Down. Okay. It's just sort of 2 days down right now into an area of support, as a matter of fact, of congestion, which will probably act as support. The market continues to bleed out red. And so, you should hedge your positions and or even place short, possibly, but I do not recommend that for beginners. Going short into a pullback, I'm not sure what a good analogy is. It's like trying to go catch lobsters in a storm. It's trying to be productive when you should just stay docked, right? It's far more difficult when there's a lot of volatility out there because of dropping prices. That's why bear markets shouldn't really be traded, save for hedging. Bearishness in bear markets, I know everyone loves to make money off of the opposite happening because all they do is lose all the time. And they're like, this is my opportunity to finally win. But yeah, no. I mean, you just made another bad decision. You don't want to do that. AMD down. Okay. Well, it sure moved up a lot the last couple of days, didn't it? Let's pull that up. AMD. Diz up. Okay. Oh, AMD is just high tight flagging. I wouldn't even call that down. So strong. Very nice. Moderna, APLS, SATS, ILM, ILMN, Kava, AMR, NARI, Coin, AFRM, SiteK. Basically, these are all names we're on top of. But this one, which one was it? Not SiteK. If you're, I'm going to Nappy. Where did it go? Navi or Nappy? Oh, it's gone. It's already bred. Never mind on that one. Yeah, it's almost just like a slight corrective move on AMD, but otherwise AMD is very strong, and I'm guessing the whole microchip sector is looking good. Let's take a look at Soxel. No, not necessarily, but AMD is certainly helping keep it, keep it up. But Soxel's a 3x leveraged semiconductor sector ETF. Pretty cool. Soxel, SOXL. We're 8 minutes into the market. I mean, and everything's just, more of the same. Every minute that goes by is just going to be more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. So I'm going to call the morning live here because we basically got the gist of what's going on here. And we can now trade and move forward and be productive on it. If you have any questions, you should always ask them. But now we're at the end of this morning's live. So make sure you do ask your questions during the boring moments before it's too late, and I'm happy to answer them. All right, but I will see you guys tomorrow again in the morning live. But if you'd like to continue to talk with me and to be part of our community, click the link in the profile, click the link in the bio, and come on in. All right, we'll see you in a minute. All right, let's go back into the group members. Let's go. Let's go get this.